Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mom.
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yep, thank you for joining with us again.
As you know, we always love doing this. And Mom, how are you doing thus far today?
Brandon, I am doing just fine. How about yourself?
Well, this is an amazing Tuesday, and I'm excited for us to get into our discussion.
Oh, yes, we're going to talk about Wonder Man again.
And Mom, which episode is this one?
We are in episode 3 called Pacoima, I believe.
So yes, Pacoima released just like the other episodes on the 27th of January, 2026.
Yep, and we are spending our Tuesdays talking about Wonder Man. And so let me give you a brief synopsis of this particular episode. As we can, in this particular episode, we actually learn a little bit about the past of Simon, or a little bit of his backstory. We learned that when he was 13 years old, that he was his house or the room or whatever was on fire, and he was there. However, he didn't have any bodily effects with this fire. We also learned that his father passed away prior to him being 13. This particular episode doesn't exactly say when. We just know that it happened prior to him being 13. Um, and we know that he was, as a child, he was kind of lonely, and he really didn't speak. And so he is close to his mother, and on this episode, it happens to be the week of his mother's birthday, and so he goes to see her. We do find out that he has a brother named Eric, and Trevor, on the other hand, our friend, he has been told by the authorities that he needs to actually spend more time with Simon, and he needs to tape video, audio, whatever. He needs to tape some of their conversations so that they could hear what's going on. And so he invites himself to go with Simon to his mother's birthday party, and he's able to kind of see firsthand how his family reacts to him. It's very obvious that his mother does love Simon. His brother, on the other hand, is very successful and has no problem at all letting Simon know that he is very successful. And so Eric, throughout the episode, will say things like he paid for his mom's kitchen, he's taking care of Simon. These things he kind of says. Anyway, they're during one of the conversations that Simon has with his mother. He becomes upset, and not necessarily at his mother, but Eric kind of started it. But anyway, he becomes upset and he breaks the kitchen island, and then he kind of leaves and with Trevor, and they go back to and they're on the road, and and at that point in time, Trevor gets out of the car and he takes the mic off, and then he destroys the whatever kind of SD card version that he has. He destroys that, and then he goes back to the car where Simon says that both of them have a callback for Wonder Man. And that is the episode, I believe, in a nutshell. Brandon, did I leave anything out?
Mom, I think you got the gist of it.
Okay, sounds good.
And overall, what did you think about this third episode?
I mean, I thought the episode was fine. Now, I'll be quite honest, I had to watch it a couple times. I kind of drifted off. But anyway, but the episode was fine. It makes sense. I was glad to hear some of his backstory, and so, which is basically typical of the Marvel episodes that we have seen, that we kind of learn things slowly, and then it'll pick up. It should be picking up, in my thought. This is the third episode, probably by the fifth.
And Mom, I know that you spoke a little bit earlier about sort of your thoughts and the orders of things in the sense of, like, for instance, where do we have the soft introduction where we don't know anything, and then you mentioned that there's a certain point in these series that you believe this is where we find all of the backstory and exposition. The whole episode's dedicated to this exposition. Where would you place that?
Um, well, I think the backstory was here. They laid the groundwork pretty well. We don't know much about his superpowers except for the fact the fire. And I'm sure whatever he inhaled from the fire is what gave him the superpowers. We do know his father passed away, and so I'm sure something happened at that time period, whatever that happened. So we're getting this backstory. and I'm pretty sure the next episode will kind of be the last, my guess, major backstory um, plot that will occur. Whether or not the backstory is with him or with Trevor, there's something that's going to happen, and then the twist will begin to occur after that. That's just my opinion. I'm only on episode 3.
Yes, and truly, we know absolutely nothing about the series or the episodes, and even the little descriptions on Disney Plus are all incredibly vague and have no. I mean, at least in my opinion, because we haven't seen it yet. Any spoilers?
No, I haven't. And what's interesting is often as we're on the internet, I have not seen any spoilers yet. I've read people who have said they've seen the whole thing, but no one has spoiled. I guess we're doing more spoiling here, but no one has spoiled what's going on.
And what I find interesting is that when we first tuned in, because we were truly one of the first people to watch the episodes, we were waiting until that 9 o'clock time. Is that there was very little, I feel, like advertising for like early on, and even trying to find it on Disney Plus took forever. It wasn't like on the top, and so it's on the top now, but certainly wasn't when we started.
No, it sure wasn't, and we were even confused in regards to the time that it was supposed to come out. We thought it was going to be out that morning, but we found out it came out much later that night.
So yeah, so I'm glad at least that we're able to speak about the show. And something that was mentioned in this episode, Mom, I don't know if you caught it, is is that Simon is asking Trevor to not mention anything about the powers because of a certain acting clause they have.
I didn't catch that. What did they say?
They said that it is forbidden to for actors to have superpowers based off of a clause called the Dorman clause.
Oh, okay. All right, keep going.
Well, that's all they said. Trevor looked really confused because he's never heard of this, but but the only thing I know about next episode is that the episode's titled Dorman.
Oh, okay. Well, got something to look forward to for next time.
The question is, I guess, in my mind, because again, I truly know nothing about the episode other than the name of it, and that it released the same time as all these other ones, is I guess trying to mentally figure out on your predictions, and certainly I'd love to hear yours. My prediction is I wonder if we're even going to really get our two main protagonists, like at least in any heavy detail within the next episode, or if it'll all be in Marvel fashion, a giant episode long flashback.
That's a good question. Right now, I don't know, Brandon. So I will just next week. I'll have to let you know what my thoughts are.
Yes, and even though, of course, the series all released at once, we have actually been watching it week by week for the most part.
Yeah, we have the three of us, meaning that your dad likes to watch it too. So the three of us watching it every week.
So yeah, so definitely excited for episode 4. But Mom, before we do, even though we don't have necessarily a new connection to the best of my knowledge, is that we do have an interesting note I'd want to mention.
All right, what's that?
So one of the executive producers and creators of this miniseries, who also directed the first 3 episodes, is Destin Daniel Cretton, and he was actually the director of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh, and I absolutely love that movie.
So yeah, so definitely excited for that. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he's actually directing the upcoming Spider-Man movie that will be, I think, this year.
Oh, that's wonderful. I really like a good Spider-Man movie.
So yeah, so I don't know if it has a name to it yet, but I'm very excited for it to come out.
All right, sounds good. And I didn't rate this. I like to rate the episodes 1 through 5, 5 being the highest. I give this on a 2.75, Brandon.
Well, that makes. Wait, hold on. Repeat what you said.
I said I'm giving this a 2.75.
A 2.75.
Yes.
And why that number?
It was a little better than half, but it wasn't as good as a 3. So, yeah, 2.75.
Well, that's
If,
not a. Keep
you
going.
know, if I hadn't slept through it 2 or 3 times, maybe it would be higher.
Well, nevertheless, though, I'm not going to do the complicated math. I'm just going to say a free.
All right, Brand. We'll go with that.
But Mom, before we close out, I did actually want to mention something I thought that stuck with me with this episode. And there's only a few moments. I mean, there's a few moments within the Marvel Cinematic Universe that can do this. is making you feel sorry for a character, and that was the mom and losing her brand new kitchen that she spent the whole episode talking about.
Oh yeah, I did feel really bad. They didn't even show the aftermath of that. I guess they probably couldn't have, because even the mom, I can't imagine what she was feeling, and then even the brother, he did pay for it. So what both of them must have felt. But then at the same time, neither of them were very surprised. So they both said you shouldn't make him mad,
Yeah, and
or the
so
mom said it anyway. Yeah,
yeah, and so I mean, even though we do briefly see like the brother's reaction, I I'm wondering if they're going to ever pick this back up with the mom. I mean, I'm sure they will at some point, but yeah, I mean, to me, this reminds me of this one moment from, even though we haven't spoken about this, from Miss Marvel. I believe in one of its first or second episodes, in which Kamala accidentally upsets her dad. Um, and so to me, this relates to that in the sense of having those moments where, like, you accidentally hurt the parental figure in a way that's not necessarily physical damage, but certainly hurting their feelings a bit.
yeah, the emotional damage there.
So yeah, so definitely. I mean, I thought that was just a really strong part of the episode.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Mom, before we close this out, is there anything else you want to mention?
No, no, not for this episode, Brandon.
Well, that sounds good. And apparently, the Spider-Man movie does have a name:
Oh, what is it?
Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Oh, cool. I look forward to seeing it.
Yep, July 31st.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Well, we thank everyone here for watching.
Yep, thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Have a great day.
All right, bye bye.